Okay guys, so this is what we have done in the last tutorial. At the moment there's no interactivity, and now we're gonna code um, the time class. Okay, so just make sure that you create a class and name it time. Okay, and then make sure that you import all of this. Okay, so this class will allow us to get the current date and time, and that's it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to create is a date class. Is a date, and I'm going to call it date. Okay, and I'm going to say equals to new date, just like that. Then I'm going to create a date format. Okay, because we're going to be formatting the date and the time as well, obviously, and I'm going to call it date format, just like that. And then I want to say date format, and I'm going to say time format. Okay, and then I'm going to create two strings. So I'm going to create string s1 and s2, and whenever we format the date, we're gonna put it in a string so it can be accessible easily and sent to a text file without any problems. Okay, so now I'm going to say string because we're going to be returning a string, so I'm going to call it get date. Okay, no parameters inside, and get date. So I'm going to instantiate the date format that I've defined here. Okay, so I'm going to say date format equals to date format, format dot get date instance. All right, and this will get the date instance for me, and then I'm going to say date format dot, and this is how I want the date. So as you can see, you've got this huge list, and you can pick whatever you want and just mess about with it. But at the moment I'm going to pick the full date. All right, and then I'm going to say new local, and this depends in whatever a country you are. Okay, so for this I'm going to say en. If you were like in Portugal, you'd have say pt. Okay, then I'm going to append, not append, but assign the date format to the string. Okay, so I'm going to say s1 equals to, and I'm going to call this this date format that I've defined. Okay, and I'm going to say dot format. Okay, and what I want to format, the date, this date. Okay, I want to format this date, and the reason why I've got an error is because I need to return something, so I'm going to return s1. Simple as that. Then I'm going to copy and paste this, Control Shift F to format everything, just put it the indentation right. Then I'm gonna say get time, and then s2, and then it's gonna be get time instance, and here's gonna be time format. Okay, so bear in mind that I'm just saying string get date, but I could have said public, or private or protected and all that. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want these methods to be accessible only within the class, okay, and within other classes that are within the package. Okay, so for this purpose, for this tutorial, there's no big difference. But if you were doing like something more complex, you would have think in which access modifier you would have need to use. Okay, so I've got an error here, and why is that? So time format, time format, I'm missing a R. Okay, so now we're gonna code the bit which will make the information to be saved to a text file. Okay, so we're gonna be using a print writer. Okay, so I'm gonna create a string, and I'm gonna call it path, and at the moment it's gonna be empty. We're gonna define this soon. Then I'm gonna say print writer, and this is used to send character streams to a file, okay, one by one. So I'm going to call it PR, and I'm going to say equals to new create file, okay. So this is a method that we're going to be creating. So I'm going to pass a path inside because we're going to be receiving a string, and then I'm going to say print writer, again no access modifier because I'm using other classes within the same package, okay. And a package is just a collection of classes. It's just like a folder where you put all the classes and they are visible to each other, okay. So now visible to each other depending on the access modifier, okay. So now I'm going to say create file, okay, and then I'm going to say string path, just like that. Then I'm going to say this dot path equals to path, and this dot path means that this is the current instance of the current class, okay. So now I'm going to press Ctrl Shift O to import the library. Then I'm going to say I'm going to put everything inside of a try and catch block, okay, because whenever we're dealing with files, it might throw an exception. So I'm going to say file, I'm going to create a file equals, I'm going to say file equals to new file, okay. So the location that we're going to be sending to it, so we're going to put a string because the location is going to be a string. So Control Shift O to import everything. Then I'm going to say print writer, and this is used to get character streams to a file or to get character streams. And I'm going to call it PR, and I'm going to say equals to new print writer, okay. And then I'm going to say new buffered writer, and the buffer writer is used to get all the character streams at once and send them all together, okay. And then I'm going to say new file writer, okay, just like that. And what file I want to send? The file, and just like that. And then just press Ctrl Shift O and see all the imports up above, okay. So then I'm going to return PR once we create the PR, and then I'm going to catch any potential errors. So catch IO exception. I'm going to say E, and for the time being I'm not going to do nothing, I'm just going to ignore, okay. If I cannot create this, I'm going to return no, okay, because we need to return something. As you can see, the where went away. So now I'm going to create a method which will allow me to get the string and send it to a file using the print writer, okay, because at the moment we only have got this method which defines a file for me as well as the print writer, and we're not doing nothing at the moment which will allow us to send it to a file. So this is where we're going to create. I'm going to say void because we're not going to return nothing, we're just going to send straight away to a file. And I'm going to say I'm going to call it print to a file because the name of the method will be print to a file, but you can name this whatever you want. And I'm going to say string because we want to send strings to a file. Then I'm going to say print writer, okay, so we need a print writer to send it to a file. Then I'm going to say this dot PR equals PR, okay. And finally I'm going to say PR dot, and this is the method that we use to send strings to a file, okay. So we're going to send X, so PR dot print line, and we're going to send X to a file. Finally, I'm going to create a void add space, and this will allow us to have some space in our information, okay. So I'm going to say this dot PR dot print line, okay. So we're gonna get a new line. So this is it for this tutorial. Please make sure that you join me on the next tutorial because I'm going to be finishing of everything, and it's gonna be fun. So thanks for watching my tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.